Okay. Hello. Welcome to AstroEnergy with Astrologer Angel Shelley Overton. Hello, and welcome to the 2017. My name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. The show today. It is a bit overcast here in Orlando. It's been raining now, and the weather on my little weather app says it's going to keep raining forever and ever. Anyway, it's not going to rain forever and ever, but you know what? Neptune is about to go retrograde. Well, and of course, different, right? Just because Neptune's retrograding a lot of rain doesn't mean everybody's getting a lot of rain, and that too. But we are definitely getting rain. So Orlando, those places, and probably this part of Florida that is affected by the weather, affected by the astral that come through, and you know every place is affected. But Orlando resonates to what's going on. And very Neptune oriented because we're getting the water for this Neptune cycle. Neptune is going to retrograde, I believe it is, in a little over a week. So, of course, I'm sitting here. I had everything set up, and I just forgot to call in and get ready for the call at the beginning. But, yeah, Neptune goes retrograde on the 16th, and so we're at 14 degrees Pisces, and between now and the time it goes retrograde, it's at 14:14. It stays there for 3 Friday. Then it goes to 14:15 and stays there for 4 days until it's at 14:16 minutes, 14 degrees and 16 minutes, and it stays there for 4 days before it goes retrograde, and then it stays there for another 5 before it gets astrologically in the different cities. Each city was founded at a different time, at the actual time of incorporation for different cities or different. And if it is just like, settled, you can kind of look to when the area was settled, and that'll give you an idea of what influences will affect it. And so, of course, Orlando has been strongly affected this week. We just had, I guess we made the national news, idiot shooting, and so we're definitely being affected by what's going on right now, multiple ways. So wherever you are, whatever planetary positions are happening at that time can affect your weather as well. So obviously, we seem to have a country that's divided in more ways than one, but definitely with weather. And I've been watching every time we get these severe storms going across the country, it seems like they kind of come up from this and then fan out across the Midwest and then go across the East. So obviously they don't really go from one coast to the other very much. I've seen generally with the eastern seaboard weather, it kind of comes up and then just across. So think about it, that time, so humanity, so to speak, are kind of, I want to say predilected, but honestly I don't use that word that much, but for some reason so it kind of gives the idea that this is how it's going to be coming. We will see a lot of weather that affects that part of the country, and then there's kind of a different on the other half of the country. But anyway, that being said, we have, and it's going to continue, and fortunately, I will give you lemonade from lemons. It's been raining that dry spell in Florida. We were actually on drought levels. We have our retention ponds were lower by about a third at least, and since it's been raining for a week, they've of course raised up, but I didn't want to plant any of my garden because enough water to keep it going, and I would have to water it twice a day with 95 degrees and no rain. So now that I got to plant my garden finally this morning, so I'm pretty happy about that. And for those planting to the moon cycles or any of the astrological cycles, do it between moon and full moon. That will give your plants the best option. Moon, I planted it today in a water sign. It's definitely pouring. And we've also got moon in Scorpio at 13 in tile to Pluto today at 18 degrees, which means that we can positive feed them something that has the potential to be life-changing, positive way. The only thing that is negative about this particular aspect is the square to Jupiter from Pluto. So we've got Jupiter retrograde at 13, but we've been feeling that for a while, and he is moving back until Friday. So we've got this really intense time, which if you listen a few weeks back, I was telling you about Jupiter direct and explaining how while Jupiter direct and the full moon in Sagittarius are very positive energies, leading up to that, there are some energies of opposition between Saturn and Sag and the Sun and then Mars. And so we've had some energy. Also, the Sun days was squaring Neptune. So the Sun in Sagittarius, Sun in Gemini, squaring Neptune in Pisces. So there were some aspects that were coming as we approached to this full moon. So we've had kind of negative in the news, obviously, culminated on Friday with this full moon energy. So Sagittarius, foreign affairs, travel. I assign it to real estate deal going on, or you could get an offer on a house or finish selling a house. You could an opportunity to work in a far-off place, or you may just have an inclination to go. So all of that energy is coming in on Friday. So the moon and Jupiter direct. So the moon is completely full at 9:10 a.m. and Jupiter turns direct at 10:03 a.m. and those are both Eastern. Pacific, 7:03 a.m. Pacific for the Jupiter direct. And so in Sagittarius will answer to Jupiter as Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius, which means the energy that the moon expresses through is Sagittarius or Jupiterian. So because the ruling planet moves direct in our, we're going to very emotional connection, and because our country is a Cancer country, being a July 4th birth, we're going to have a really strong connection to the foreign affairs going on Friday. I do have it, but it is a sense of we're going to do our own thing, and it's kind of that we've been having, like, very much about what we choose to do, and how this is a Jupiter energy, and the moon is the country. The moon is America, and it is very. It's an energy that says, I am tired of worrying about others. I'm tired of the details. I just want to move forward. And honestly, that's where some of the fortune comes. And while I'm definitely not someone who with extraordinary tactics, I do think that on some level, having a sense of self as a country is going to be a positive thing, but it has to be so. Jupiter can be a little not. I wouldn't say Jupiter is exclusive or even Sagittarius. I would say it just doesn't be aware of the energy and the people around it and that it sends out as an effect. So, I would definitely say we're going to probably see more criticism moon in Sagittarius because of what's been going on internationally. And the energy it's just where it's at right now with Saturn in Sagittarius to the moon. We're going to be unreasonable, unruly, two-faced, and really it's a very difficult time. And interestingly, as a country, when you do a sunrise chart, that's it, sorry. A little mind blip there, although, of course, I'm a little foggy with all this. You're floating around. You know, I have a ton of Neptune in my chart, so it makes me a little bit foggy, especially with Mercury. And the Mercury right now is coming in square to my natal Mercury again. Seems like it's always doing something to my natal Mercury. To Gemini today. So that happens at 6:15 p.m. 15 Pacific. So we're going to have this energy where it's just of Gemini and Sagittarius again. It's wanting to be on the go, not wanting to be in the effect of the causes we create. That also is within our own charts. So wherever your Gemini Sagittarius axis is in your chart, you're going to feel like to be responsible for this or that. Probably mostly the Gemini, especially the natal Mercury, which rules Gemini. So the whole month of June is going to be a very Geminian month. And we do have degree Cancer right now. Of course, like I said, he's going to be moving in with Pluto a little bit later this month. That'll come up. Let me look that up. So Mars actually be very late this month because Pluto is at 18 degrees. It's not even going to happen this month. It'll tense as he is moving in. He'll be at 16. And then in July, he actually hits on. So July 3rd it's 2nd and 3rd actually a significant time. We'll get to that later on when we discuss that part of the calendar. So, Ryan, I swear, I think I'm fighting a little something too. I think I have a sinus infection, foggy and groggy today, and I took some echinacea to help that. I apologize if I'm a little wackadoodle here. But, okay, so I'm going to just go around the chart. In Leo at 27 and in Florida right now, in Orlando on the it's Leo rising. And we have the North Node at 20. It's going backwards. So it's bringing up these issues of ego and having a collective to try and understand the Leo energy and where we gain fortune from leadership and from generosity, activity, and even children, my favorite subject, to look to the youth. For that, this node is in Aquarius at 10 degrees also. They're exact opposite. And South Node is what we bring in from the past. Now, because it goes in retrograde, it came out of Capricorn, and now it's in Aquarius. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just double check. Pisces. It came out of Pisces. I apologize. This is. I'm going to just stop for a moment and trying to relate it to how Earth rates is probably one of the more difficult aspects of astrology because you have entities that you're reading that go retrograde through the chart. You have the horizons flip, with the horizon is on the left and the right, the opposite it is in reality, which reverses the planets are looking at a chart to where we are, at least in America. So when I try to relate, and I am a relator, that's another thing that Leo does. Leo likes to relate in patterns and see connectedness. And I have a strong Leo in my chart as well in the house of education. Always trying to find the relational aspects, the relationships between. So when you relate in a chart and you try to shift it to what's going on in physical reality, you have to really think spatially. So sometimes a little up in that jump, in that leap. But anyway, so Leo's the energy of all this creativity. South is in Aquarius, which is the energy of wanting to have clearness of thought and connectedness to electrical energy. And yes, water is a conductor of that. Nodes have water and earth, and they're now in fire and air. So you go from the energy of roundedness and emotionalism to action and creativity and movement. So it's a very different energy, and the South Node brings in the Aquarius, where planets go through that degree. They are wrapping up the story of the collective. How do I have individuality, which is an Aquarius thing, the collective, which is also an Aquarius thing. So it's about soul group, it's about people and how we get along together and how we move forward whole for the good of the whole, and yet still keep our autonomy. And it's autonomy as individual and autonomy as a collective. It is the energy of inventiveness, so we're feeling some of that coming at a period of, I'm sorry, I'm just looking up the nodes real quick, understanding new ideas and new ways of thinking. And the nodes are staying there. Well, they'll get to 15 by the end of the year. So, and it is the past and the future. So the past is the Aquarius and us about, and having us remember about our humanity, because it is the premier humanitarian sign of the zodiac. And so we're going to feel this energy as an overlay, and they are fated points in the zodiac, so that is where we are having, and it relates to newness and newness in children. So we'll see kind of some of that energy overlaid over the next year. Then we also have Jupiter at 13 Libra. So the shift from retrograde to direct is going to whatever we have connected in the past, in the last few months. Someone from the past, relationship, money situation, because Libra is line, and also partnering with other people, including business. If I've dealt with people over the last 5 months, then we're going to see those issues take a shift. Something that's meant to stay, it could be something new that came in and maybe second guess the partnership, or if it's one that was there before Jupiter went retrograde, we may have gone backward and gone back that we had that we maybe didn't really address with that person. And Jupiter and Libra retrograde means that we were acting more codependent. So Libra is a very codependent sign because it wants to understand others. And so as an energy, not a new sign, Libra will look for the balance with another person to the point where they may give up something of their own to make it work. That brings out a codependent nature. Jupiter, which my chart here is not showing this, but it is true, 13 adjunct to Neptune at 14 Pisces, which means dependence in relationships. It is about the illusions that we have. Having Neptune go retrograde in 10 days is also adding to the exacerbation. So you may be feeling this very strong energy of codependence with the where it may not be fulfilling your vision and you're getting highly frustrated. It's par for the course to be frustrated right now because both entities are shifting direction. So Jupiter now will be much more aware of the codependent nature and and pull away time. Today, Jupiter is in trine to the Sun in Gemini, and that also is a much more independent and around long in relationships. So it's kind of difficult for people who are or other Gemini, Venus, stick around. Or just it stops and then checks in and then keeps moving. So that become a stronger thing as Jupiter goes direct. That it's going to be not in the same. I don't want to be in the same situation. I'm not the same person, and for in relationships in a different way. So that can mean that this week seeing relationships ending in the news, more probably shocking relationship endings. I'm just trying to see what else. There could be some news about writers in the news. Libra tends to rule that has to do with writers, and so does Gemini. Gemini is about words, and Libra has the connection to books. So there will be big book news, I would say, Friday, and probably also some release of. That's the day Katy Perry chose to go on her tour. So I'm pretty sure she has an astrologer. Yeah, it's and a musician. So Sagittarius is a sign of musician. So we're going to hear a lot about the literary and music worlds on Friday, and anything like that in the arts with Neptune also. Okay, there can also be some energy around, the structure of Pluto and Capricorn is also what's triggering some breakup because we're to Jupiter right now. There was another thought I had. Oh, and then so Neptune, we're going to talk more in depth. I think the show is Neptune. Yeah, Neptune retrograding is next week's show. So we're going to talk more about that. But Neptune, when Neptune retrogrades, first off, it goes direct. It's a little bit, definitely addictive, and so that adds to the codependence. But then with retrograde, it has much more clarity of thought because it's going back away into something that's less bogged down in emotionalism, and it tends to act more. We're going to have a few months of that kind of detachment. There's an interest in being more about. Interest is going to probably have a peak before Jupiter goes. Actually, Jupiter is also going into Scorpio in the October of this year, and that means that there's going to bring out a bit more of that Jupiter sign of Scorpio, which means the depths. But that's a whole other show as well, which we will have a little later in the year. Okay, Uranus in Aries at 27. Again, Uranus is at 27, and the nodes in Aquarius ruled Uranus. So they're positive now, which means extreme focus on entrepreneurship, autonomy, and the collective, but as the individual stands out from, but still being accepted by the collective. So look for that. Venus is at 0 degrees. So she just went into Taurus this past week, and still in trine to Saturn and Sagittarius, but she's changed signs. So it's just a dynamic from fire to fire, which can also bring about more chance for earthquakes / fires, wildfires, things like that, and possibly volcanoes. But yeah, and then Taurus at the last degree, Mercury at the last degree of Taurus, that's related to the Earth. So something connecting. And I would also be careful around airplane travel on Friday, because Mercury in Earth means a connectedness to Earth. Then she goes into air and energy. And then we also have Moon shifting into Sagittarius, and the full moon in Sag, and Jupiter going direct. So all those are travel, transportation, and shift in awareness. So it can affect accidental. And so let's see. That's all. Mars is in Cancer. Cancer is a water sign, and it's the energy we talked about this week, but Mars in Cancer means we are driven to do home matters and connect to family. So that's a really strong, and the moon trining to Mars, and then now directly at this moment, literally, I'm looking here, it's 11:14. Well, we're a little past 11:14. minutes, 14 degrees, 14 minutes, and Neptune's at 14 degrees and 14 minutes. So it was an exact trine Moon to Neptune, and so there was strong energy around water and also a shift, a cooperation of some sorts. But what happened? What shifted in you? And now you feel more positive and ready to make some good changes in your world. So that's good. Anyway, we've had a few people waiting on hold and take your calls. So we're going to take a quick break and then come back to our calls, and we'll see you in, let me see it. Let's do this one. We'll see. PolkadotSky.com has items for all your summer needs with unique artistic designs from whimsical to serious, fun to photographic. PolkadotSky.com brings fantasy and beauty to your t-shirts, mugs, cig bottles, or clocks. PolkadotSky.com brings the brightly colored art and fantasy world of Shelley Overton to many everyday items, such as tote bags and beach bags for those sun-filled days at the beach. You'll find summer shirts and winter warm-ups with bright colors, animal motifs, and flowers that PolkadotSky.com dreams up for your enjoyment. Stop by PolkadotSky.com today. Tell them Shelley sent you.
Shelley Overton has been practicing astrology for over 25 years and studying it for over 30. As an intuitive astrologer, Shelley is able to give insightful information on celestial influences to your reading. For a personal one-on-one reading, contact Shelley through AstroLogerAngel.com. Shelley gives personal readings which last over an hour on the phone, or you can request a written astrological analysis. At AstroLogerAngel.com, we can do horary charts, electional charts, and relationship charts. If you are budget-minded, AstroLogerAngel.com can answer a single question, or you can get a 15-plus page computer-generated report. Contact Shelley Overton through AstroLogerAngel.com to get your personalized reading today.
Okay, welcome back. Actually, I'm just having a disclaimer. It's been a while since I played that one, but a Polka Dot Sky is no longer a Polka Dot Sky. It's actually DottedSky.com now. So if you have any interest in checking that out, that's the address, DottedSky.com. And you can get a hold of me at AstrologerAngel.com for a reading. If you have any interest, I have a couple different lengths of time, so it makes it different price points, so that might actually make it easier for you to afford it. If you're not interested in getting a full hour reading, I do it for 20 to 25 minutes. So anyway, thank you for listening, and let's take some calls. I've got 732. Hi, 732. How are you? Thanks for waiting.
Hi, good morning, Shelley. This is Carolyn. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Have you called before?
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have your, it's not associated with this area code, so I'm just going to create a new chart for you if that's okay.
Sure.
So, yeah, just give me your birth information, your birth date, and then time and place.
Yes, October 9, 1954 at 2:56 a.m. in Lisbon, Portugal.
Okay. All right. What can I do for you today?
You might have my other number, 908, but I'm not sure.
It's probably what it was. So, yeah, but, you know, when I call, I usually go by the area code that comes across. So if you've called before and it's not that, that's why. If you changed phones, it'll be there. You see. Okay. I don't have it under that either. We got you now.
It's been a while.
That's fine. So what can I do?
Well, I'm setting up live inspirational spiritual events in the month of October.
Okay, wonderful.
Yay. And some in England in November or December. Oh. Yay.
Yeah, nice. Sounds fun.
I know. It's a wonderful year. I'm a Libra,
Yeah.
so it's a wonderful year.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Have you been having a good
one?
Awesome.
It's transformational overnight. I got to say, the month of
cool.
March and maybe mostly April and May, it's just like magical things that are happening. New
that's
beginnings.
Awesome.
Yay.
That's very cool.
I know. Last time I called you, maybe it was at the end of March because I didn't have specific dates. Now I have specific dates for these. Right now it's like 4 freebie 4 events, but I'm looking today at a new theater I already have one small community theater, but this one is bigger. And this one
nice.
It's in the same town, but I might as well get this guest that I have, get his name out there. And so this is like in Princeton, New Jersey. So I would like to, if this third event is an alignment, which is the one in the bigger theater, if you need a name or a name of the theater, I'm more than gladly to give it to you. And it's going to be...
I was just doing... I'm doing a chart for October. You said this is going to happen in October?
Yeah, so there's 2 weekends, and that's where I'll have all the events.
First off, give me the first date of the first performance and the time you have it ready to go in the place.
Okay, Saturday the 14th around 4 o'clock.
Okay, and that's going to be where?
Princeton, New Jersey. And
so it'll be local in... No, I've got it. No, it's... Princeton, New Jersey is as specific as we need. It's okay. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so what would you like to know?
Well, the marketing side of it, is it going to be, 1, successful? 2, because there's so many things happening, am I going to be able to pull this off in a very successful? And I have this beautiful show that I have in my mind. And am I going to get, here's the one, a financial partner or a support system to help me out as well with the marketing?
Yeah, I think definitely you have some opportunities for marketing. And look to someone. The date you gave me, the date and time, actually is in the moon's in the sign of Leo, and Leo rules graphic design. But for you, that falls in the 12th house, so there might be someone who you may not be aware of their talent, or you may be doing it behind the scenes somehow where maybe it's not really apparent to other people that this is going on, but the moon will be pretty close to your natal Pluto. So definitely, is there a timeline you want to be advertising in?
Well, I have from now, I just have to actually sign the contract, right, for the venue.
Okay.
And then I can start marketing. And the way I'm going to market in the town, in the community, and also online.
Okay.
So,
when do you sign the contract?
That's a good one. I was thinking within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. As long as, Mercury will be in Gemini from the 7th through the 21st, and then Mercury, which is contracts, and actually Pluto is also contracts. Pluto rules the 8th house, which is legalities, but Mercury, I always look for a positive Mercury because it's how we think about things, and it's also kind of the details of what's going on and the idea. And Mercury can be, frisky. You never know. So you want to make sure Mercury's in a good spot. I would have said for a venue to sign it in Taurus, but it's at the last degree of Taurus, and you don't want to sign it there. Although, see, I'm of 2 minds with the last degrees, and maybe I need to talk to someone who understands this more. Mercury at the last degree, any planet at the last degree is going to wrap up an old story, but it also can mean when the moon is at the last degree that it doesn't go anywhere. So it can be either or, and I'm if there are positive aspects before it gets in the next sign, I'm guessing that it means that, it's a done deal in a positive sense. But I wouldn't sign anything at 29 Taurus, honestly, because to me, Taurus is already a slow sign. 29 and 27 minutes, it's just not going to get off the ground. So I would definitely wait till it changes signs. And if you do it in Gemini, it's very creative energy and social and chatty, and you'll talk about things, and things might be a little bit more out in the open about, how you feel and where things are at. But it can also be, for you, I guess it could be more self-serving, which is good because it's in your house of career, so that you'll be able to get what you need done. If you want to wait till it's in Cancer, you can do that. That's also the house of money, but it's about security at that point. So it kind of depends on what energy you want to assign to the contract. Do you want it to be more about social give and take and the potential for change, lots and lots of change? Or when Mercury goes into Cancer on the 22nd, it's going to be more about security and connectedness to the family, like a family of people, the soul family. And so, I'm just going to leave that with you. Also, it will be near Mars when it goes into Cancer as well.
So this will be June 22nd, so that's fine. I don't have to sign anything. Everything, the 22nd sounds great. Then I have, so for this one, I think this is beautiful. You gave me a lot of details.
And there's a lot of good energy coming in, especially if you're talking about making money. You have you have Sun and Mercury in your house of money. Venus just goes into Libra on that day. At that time, it literally is at 0 degrees Libra, which is the beginning of your house of money. And so it's about beauty and balance and other people enjoying something you enjoy. And then I've got chills. Mercury is right on your Neptune, and the Sun is right on your Sun. So it's obviously within a few days of your birth. So you're going to have a lot. I've got chills with this too. So there's definitely some cooperation with partnering and money around this event.
Wow, that's beautiful. So
yeah, it's really nice.
So the other ones are that we, there's another one that's going to be on Sunday. So I think that's the same thing. But then I have one or the following weekend. So I'm thinking the 21st and the 22nd. That's other dates.
Let me do 21st, same time?
Yes.
Same time, 4 o'clock?
Same time, yes.
Okay. All right, hang on. So this is a little bit different energy, and this kind of gives you an idea how, events and even a week apart can be kind of different. So the next week, so the week before, Mars will be in your first house, and so when it first starts, and then it goes into, it's getting close to the end degrees, but it gets into your house of money, but Mars in Virgo means that you're a little bit tight with the cash and like you're holding on to it. So if you have it Saturday at 4 o'clock, then it's literally Mars is at the last degree, and so it's kind of like wrapping it up. It'll be, I don't know if that one's, that one might not be as financially successful as the first week.
We won't do it because I have options. How does Sunday, the 22nd, we'll make it, let's make it 5 o'clock. I don't know.
Okay.
Same thing.
All right. Mars is at 0 degrees Libra, which is better again. It means it's new, it's fresh, it's looking, Libra rules, or Virgo rules your house of money, which is very frugal, but Libra will give, be careful not to give too many tickets away. That's something that you could do, too, because Mars in Libra is like, here. Although, you probably will give away the tickets. But, that's what Libra does. Libra's like, you're going to love it. You want it. Here, I'll give it to you. And that's what you have to be aware of. The beauty is Jupiter is in Scorpio, and Jupiter rules money from partnerships. Jupiter went out of Libra. Again, like I said at the beginning of the show, Jupiter in Libra is like, I've been codependent. I've given everything away. Now it's time to take care of my own needs. Jupiter in Scorpio does the same thing, only for Scorpio. So it's very deep and is about joint finances. But now it's like, I've given everything away, and I feel like now I have to take care of my own needs, but there's a little bit more resentment with the Scorpio energy than there is with Libra. Libra just has a huge heart and will just do it. Scorpio gets resentful that they've given away so much. So having the Jupiter in Scorpio will actually probably make you a little bit more aware of how the money is affecting you. and what it's going to do for you in the future. And you've got Saturn at 8 degrees Scorpio, so Jupiter is coming up on your Saturn. Venus and Sun the week before will be Mercury. Was it Mercury? Yeah, Mercury and the Sun will be right on your Neptune, which is like making your dreams come true, expressing your voice, being in the public eye, or like getting the attention for what your dreams are. The next week, you're going to still have the beauty and everything. I think that you're going to see probably there's going to be a woman, if she's a partner, that's going to be a little bit more vocal about things the next week, and not knowing, who all you're involved with. There's definitely what's coming out, and it doesn't mean that it wasn't there last week, but I just didn't notice it last week. So I always, in my readings, I go by what I notice, because that's part of the reading. And Vesta is at 17 Libra the second week. So that means that and it's in Libra, so it's a woman partner or a woman associated with this production who may be a little bit more prickly.
That's my daughter. She's helping me out.
Okay. Interesting. And you also have Venus within 7 degrees of that, and Venus usually signifies a daughter or sister, someone, female family. So
yes,
there you go.
She's going to help out. So, and their relationship, not all that. Let's just say I'm trying, to bring her back.
Right.
She's far away. So
well, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I just want to wrap this up saying Mercury. You're having a Mercury return within 2 degrees. It's October 22nd, that Sunday, and then you'll have Mars and Venus both in Libra. So there's the arts definitely encouraged, and it will be a really lovely time. Like definitely, I would say Sunday is better than Saturday for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really
You're
love
welcome.
this. You gave me so much hope.
Okay, great. Good luck to you, and let me know how it goes. That sounds awesome.
I will.
Okay, great. Take care. Bye, Carolyn.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we're going to take another call. Yay. 202. Hi, 202. Who is this?
Hey, how are you? This is Kay.
I'm good. Let me see. Okay, you said Kay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what can I do for you today? I've got your chart.
Well, I'm calling you. It's really funny. I spoke with you, I think a couple of weeks ago, and you picked up something might be happening with like a friend and a person of interest. And so I have this friend. I recently had a breakup, and I have this friend who'd like to introduce me to someone. And I am getting the feeling actually that this person likes her, so I'm just not sure why she even wants to introduce me. It's just weird little triangle, weird thing that I feel. She actually already has someone, but I'm still like, I don't want any parts of that. So I don't know. I just wanted you to check out the chart.
Well, triangles in relationships are Libra also, and I've mentioned this a few times on the show, that when you have Libra, you have, like if you think of the scales and the fulcrum in the middle, you've got one side, the other side, and then the balancing point. So when Libra's involved in relationships, I mean, when it's strong in a chart, you can have a third party. You've got Jupiter in Libra in your midheaven, so this is your career and structures. So I don't know if this is something around work. Is this someone you know from work?
No, it would be through a friend. And I have his info. He actually is a Libra, but I can give you his info so you can check it out.
Okay, well, I would definitely say Libras tend to triangulate.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's just like part of the nature, and it doesn't always have to be bad. I mean, I have a friend who's he's a Libra, his wife's a Libra, and he always has a friend. There's always a friend. So it's just kind of the way it is, I think, sometimes. And air signs are going to do that. Air signs need to have extras and multiples. It's just the nature of an air sign. So Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So, and Jupiter is in Libra right now. Like I said, Friday it goes direct. There is going to be something coming in for you that is life-changing. Major transition, major life change. You're only 8 degrees off of Jupiter. Actually, when Jupiter gets back to 21, which is where your Pluto is, that's where he retrograded. So whatever was going on for you when Jupiter retrograded, that's going to kind of get reinitiated again. Let me see. I just have to look it up here real quick. It went retrograde on the 5th of February. Do you remember what was going on then? Yeah, early in the year. So what happened
It's
for a
like
lot of us early
February.
in the year, it was about finding partners, moving forward, doing business, taking action,
Oh,
because there was a lot of Aries energy at that time. I don't know if you remember
yeah.
it,
I was
but
moving forward actually in a partnership
yeah,
that I'm not in any longer.
exactly. So that may come back after. I mean,
Mm.
if it broke up, I don't know. It did break up during the retrograde.
During Jupiter retrograde, it was April 11th.
Yeah. So let me see what point that was at. Jupiter. So Jupiter was at 17 degrees. Let's see what happens when Jupiter hits 17 degrees again. It's August. August is going to be, you may hear from him again in August when Jupiter gets to
Okay.
that same degree. But, whatever the issues were at that time could come back up for you. And that's kind of how
Mm.
Jupiter works, is that it goes retrograde, it goes back over where it was. And, of course, thinking if you've been moving forward, I'm moving forward, Jupiter's direct, I've been hitting the beginning of the year, yay, we're going forward, partnering, and then Jupiter goes retrograde, and suddenly it's like, this isn't what I want. I need this
Wow,
and this
that's
and that.
so funny. We made it ourselves official on the 3rd of February. That's
Wow.
hilarious.
Yep.
Whoa. Oh my
And
God.
so what happens is, so February 3rd, Jupiter was at 23 degrees. Actually, it
Mm.
retrograded 23, not 21. But so what's going to happen is, so Jupiter literally hit your Pluto, okay? And your Pluto and your Moon are at the same degree of Libra 21. So Jupiter just went past it, then it went back over it and got to 17. And so what it was doing is like, think of someone who's like walking down the street, oh my God, I forgot something, I got to go back. And they go back, and the other person's like, but we're going forward, you're with me, let's stay together, we'll deal with it later. No, I've got to go back. So that one person goes away and goes back to get it, and you're stuck there split up, not doing it, not going forward. That person is going to, Jupiter goes direct, you may have stopped in your path, you're like, okay, it's retrograde, I'm not going anywhere now. And so you're stopped where you're at, going, I wish this would go forward. Oh no, now you're turning over your shoulder, looking back to your partner. They're way back there. You can't even see them anymore. Like, great, it's gone, fine. And then Jupiter goes direct, and you say, I'm going to start walking forward again. Enough with this. I'm going forward. Then that partner got whatever it was they had to deal with while they're retrograde. I got so many chills telling you the story. And then they catch back up to you, and now they're ready to go forward. But they may be slightly different because they've changed something when they went back to get whatever they needed. Now they're back up here with you, and they're saying, you know what? I'm good to go. And are you good to go? Because now they're on board, and now the time has come to wrap up the story around partnership and move on to the next level, which is Jupiter and Scorpio, about money and legalities. So that's coming in October. Yeah. And so that's what we do. That's how we deal with Jupiter. And Jupiter is fortune. Like, if you can handle the weight while it's retrograde, when he goes forward, he's going to hit your Pluto, which is major life change around partners. And it's on your moon as well. So there's something associated with a nurturing, with a mom energy, with an older woman. There's all this family energy around partnering that comes into your career, and you're like, okay, this is nurturing me, but this is really deep. It's really like you're passionate about the career. You're passionate about
I know exactly
the
what you're talking
partnering.
about. There's a woman who I'm merging with creatively, and I think it'll be a good partnership. Totally.
Very cool. Yeah,
Totally.
and that's what's going to happen. And then when Jupiter goes direct, then it's like you've been given your wings back. And you're like, oh, thank goodness we can fly, because now you want to go somewhere. The only thing is Neptune is your dreams. And Neptune, let's see, Neptune's on 14, which is on your sun.
Yeah.
So right now, Neptune has you looking at things very rose-colored glasses, because that's what Neptune does in Pisces, and it does it going direct, and it's the energy of spirit and religion, and more so Sagittarius is religion, but Pisces can be, it's the sage, and it's a religious spirituality. So there's this connectedness to all that is, and the psychic ability, and you have Pisces, Mercury, and Sun in your house of communications in Pisces, so there's this really deep connectedness, and you have South Node in Aquarius. I wouldn't be surprised if you pick up like people's thoughts. you're that kind of talent. Yes, heck yeah. And then your talent, Neptune, is right there on you, on your sun, so there's an ego connection. And so what happens is Neptune is saying, it's all beautiful, Lucky, you're wonderful, you're merging with the universal. And then he goes retrograde, and you're like, whoa, you get snapped to attention. Everything becomes more real, more reality, more clear, more like, how did I not see that that person was doing this or that? And now you're going to spend the next 5 months, maybe 6, let me see, I can't remember when Neptune goes direct here. You're going to spend a few months being pragmatic. Okay, that's what you're just like, oh yeah, no, we have to be very clear about this, and we have to get our ducks in a row, and it's going to be later in the year. So, man, life, I just don't like. I like Neptune retrograde at times because I'm a Virgo, so it acts like Virgo. But then by the end of the retrograde, you're like, can I just get some, like a big hug from Neptune, which comes when it goes direct and it moves forward. So retrograde can be much more critical. So you're going to be in your Gemini,
I need more
Virgo
critical with all
energy.
Virgo in me.
I know. But see, you have a balance. See, that's part of the balance. So Neptune right now, really for you, and for, like you don't. I have 4 planets in Virgo. You have 3 planets in Virgo. That is the balancing act. That it's really having the Virgos pay attention, and you're Pisces, but you got 3 Virgos. Saturn being one of them, which is ironic because I have Saturn and Pisces and my Sun in Virgo. You have Sun in Pisces and Saturn in Virgo. So we have opposites.
That's funny.
Yeah, it means that you're having to not be so idealistic around how you think of things, especially this relates to siblings, it relates to neighbors, it relates to learning things. You're going to be, like normally Pisces just honestly understands things intuitively. Like they're a really great sign for like, yeah. It's like, no, I got it. You know, you don't have to explain it in detail. When Neptune goes retrograde, it's like, oh my God, I missed so many details. What the heck? And now you're scrambling to do the details. And it's probably more details around the commitment, around the legal side, only because it's papers and documents and, you know, all that. So taxes. So there's a Mercury energy that also connects to that, and then there's a Pluto. But you know, I could go on and on. See, that's the thing. I gotta learn when to stop.
Wait, what
if
about
you want
Pluto?
a reading, please call me. A bigger one. Pardon me?
I was gonna say, what about Pluto? You said something about Pluto.
Pluto is in Capricorn, and he's retrograde right now. He doesn't go direct until, let me see, when does he go? I want to say
September,
late September, but I have to look it up. Believe it or not, I don't memorize it, although I do memorize some.
Oh, no, that's okay.
No, hang on.
If the guy comes back, should I just leave him alone, basically?
The guy?
If he comes back when the Jupiter goes over the moon.
Sure, go out with him because he's definitely someone who is going to, he's someone to find out about, okay? Pluto goes direct on the 29th of September. Yeah, now having Jupiter go direct the week you're meeting a Libra, and Jupiter's in Libra, definitely meet this guy, okay? And Venus just went into Taurus, which means Taurus, of course, Venus rules Taurus, but Venus also rules Libra. They are not in cooperation because they're 150 degrees apart, but it can also mean that there is, I mean, because your Venus just went into the house of relationships, the Leo house, the 5th house. So find out what he's about. It wouldn't hurt to find out what he's about. And the Sun just went into your house of marriage and partnership in an air sign, which is in trine to Libra. So I would find out what it's about, honestly.
Okay.
So it couldn't hurt. And then go by your gut instinct, which after the 16th, it's going to be more mental and less intuitive and much more picky. So wait till the end of the month to know for sure what he's all about. But yeah, it's an interesting relationship connection. So definitely find out about it. And then if you want, we could go over more specifics about that in another call or on a private reading. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good talking to you.
Okay, Shelley. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Take care. You too. Bye-bye. All right. Let's go to 404. Hi, 404. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Hi. Who's this?
It's Lolita.
Hi, Lolita. So
Hey.
I've got your chart. What can I do for you? You're a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Taurus
um.
rising, Miss Earth sign. Oh, you're in a
Yeah.
moon return today. Happy, yeah. Within the next hour or two, you'll be in a exact moon return. Good for you. I'm in mine as well.
Okay. I have to look up more information about a moon return then. So
Well, it just
thank
happens
you.
once a month. Happens once a month. The moon's
Oh.
at the same place it was when you were born. So
It's gonna happen an hour. Okay.
it's at 14 degrees now. You have a 16-degree moon in Scorpio, so it's in your house of work and health, and so it's about deep intuition about things and probably researching health, researching things around education or things you want to learn, anything like that.
Got you.
Yeah. So
my
what can I do for you?
question is, in say investments or financial aspect that you see coming up for me, like the next month or two.
The next month or two. Okay. Mars just went into Cancer. It's going out of your house of money and investments, and that definitely is going to make you want to do more with investing when it gets into the third house, which is at 4 degrees. Hang on. Let me see. We're in July, and Mars at 4 degrees is the 11th, so Sunday, Monday of next week. That's when it gets into your third house. So it's gonna. Are you asking like what to invest in? If you're asking what to invest in, I would invest in technology. I would invest in broadcasting. If you're looking stocks and stuff.
Well, I'm supposed to be
schools.
we're receiving financial stuff, coming soon. So I was just wondering, like, when do you see, like, maybe an inheritance or something coming that way?
Yeah, that's not coming until Saturn goes direct, and that's going to be August. So August, I'm looking for my little D. August, where are you? There you go. It's 26th of August. That's when Saturn goes direct in your house of inheritance. And Saturn's structure in Sagittarius, is this someplace far away from you because of the Sagittarius influence? Is it coming from another place?
I know where it's coming from. From my father's side.
Okay. Yeah, it's more likely to be August because Saturn is holding it back right now. And it's going back towards your Mercury, so there may be some documents that are going to have to be renovated or worked out, the will or whatever, and then it'll go direct and Saturn will move forward. When it moves forward, things will move forward, but I see a lot of times it has to clear that house, especially Saturn. It restricts money, it restricts flow, and that happens, it gets into Capricorn. I just had the British lady talk in my ear. It gets to 4 degrees Capricorn, and then it gets out of that house, which will be, I'm sorry, I've got to maneuver my browser here. It's going to be in January 23rd. So it'll have some hallmarks through that time. August will be one, and then December when Saturn goes direct, and then when it gets out of that house, there'll be another one. And so what was last question?
How do I interpret then? Like, I have my shop, my business. So then personally, when does the financial start to pick up for me?
When do the financials start to pick up for you? Well, it's definitely going to start to pick up in a few days when Mars gets into your third house, because Mars in the second definitely wants to do things. Let me see, where's Venus? It's going to get even better when Venus gets out of your 12th, and that's 18 degrees. So let me find that for you real quick here. Venus rules money. She's in your 12th house right now, which makes it much more difficult to move around, especially with Neptune going retrograde. You're going to feel that with your Venus and with the money situation. I'm sorry, I'm just talking to buy time till I can find when Venus gets to 18 degrees Taurus.
No, you're fine.
The 24th of June. So when Venus gets to 18 degrees, then she will go into the first house, and when she gets to 11 Gemini, so the first house means she's out of the swamp of your psychological mind and out of the psyche, and gets into your first house of drive, the Aries house, which makes much more, like, then you're more determined to do things. And then she gets to 11 degrees on July 15th, which means that's your house of money. So when Venus gets into your house of money, she also touches on your Saturn, so that's going to definitely be some money from career. Okay? and multiple sources
Got you.
actually too. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Ann, so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for the call. Have a
Thank
great
you.
week.
Thanks.
Okay,
You
take
too.
care. Thanks. All right, I was going to take another call, but we've got more people in line, and I don't have time anymore. So I really beg you to call next week early, and then I'll take you then. And thank you so much for listening. And if you want a private reading, I would love to really pick apart your chart and give you a reading. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com. To subscribe, please click the picture of Shelley on the right or the red button below.